All right, welcome back to the channel. In this weight division of 135 pounds, we've got good news, and that is Gervonta Davis making a heavy push to give us one of the best fights in boxing. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to comment about some information that was shared by one of the best boxing YouTube channels that are out there, Knockout Boxing 86 TV, who reported in a live stream that Gervonta Davis is pushing the PBC to make the fight with Shakur Stevenson. And I think that that should be considered to be good news for everybody involved and something that is highly, highly likely to pay dividends. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hey, thank you so much for checking me out. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And look, I think we're going to mess around and wind up getting some of the fights that we really want to see. And one of the biggest fights in boxing is at 135 pounds. And that fight is between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. So it comes as, to me, it comes as very good news when somebody like Knockout Boxing 86 TV says that Gervonta Davis is pushing the PBC in order to get that fight done. Now, if you're not familiar, I have had some of the people involved in this particular situation on the channel. I had Shakur Stevenson on the channel. I've had Kenny Ellis, who is one of the trainers for Gervonta Davis on the channel. And those guys actually had a discussion. And it was very clear to me that both sides of the equation wanted the fight to be made. The question is, when was the fight going to get made? Under what circumstances would it get made? You had, obviously, Gervonta Davis, who I do believe was on his way. He may have been on his way into the fight that was supposed to get made between himself and Vasily Lomachenko, that negotiation was going on at the time. So, and Shakur Stevenson was in negotiations to sign with a new promoter. He had his last fight with Top Rank and really didn't know where he was going to go at the time. So the conversation, the way that I recall it, and the way that my takeaway, okay, Gervonta's team definitely wants to fight that fight with Shakur. Shakur wants a fight, but the question is, when will they do it? Gervonta's team was saying, hey, if Lomachenko, backs out of this, would you be available? Gave a mock, hypothetical number of $6 million. And Shakur Stevenson said, the relevant part that I remember Shakur saying was, yeah, I want to fight you, but I'm not waiting. I mean, when I'm offered fights, I'm going to take fights. I'm not going to be inactive. So the one worry that Shakur Stevenson talked about openly was he did not want to be inactive. So to me, it was not surprising when Shakur Stevenson signed with Matchroom, because Matchroom, one thing that they have been able to do is they have been able to keep fighters active. And Shakur Stevenson has, aside from a hand injury that he had, and where he was getting, and I believe he had a fight after, he got over his hand injury, the one from the Edwin De Los Santos fight. He's got another fight card coming up. He's going to be fighting on Arthur Beterbiev's undercard. I do believe that's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Shakur Stevenson seems to be very happy with the money that he's making for the fight. So he got what he needed. He got to be active. But the question, still remains, and very heavily on the minds of people that I consider to be detractors from Gervonta is, yeah, okay, that's fine and dandy. When is the fight going to take place? And in order for that fight to take place, Gervonta Davis, according to many people, is going to have to push the PBC to go get that fight for him. I don't think that that's unreasonable, that if Gervonta wants a fight, that Gervonta should push the PBC to say, hey, look, of all the people that I can fight at 135, the best guy for me to fight for my money and or legacy, whatever his decision is. I ain't in the business of telling people what should be important to them. What the two options on the table is money and legacy, and they're both there with Shakur. So he should put pressure on Al Heyman, put pressure on Leonard Ellerbe, specifically put pressure on Leonard Ellerbe, because Leonard Ellerbe is the guy that's running Mayweather promotion, running GTD promotions. Hey man, I need to get the Shakur fight. Well, in order to get that Shakur fight, we've already heard Leonard Ellerbe talking about it on multiple occasions. Say, hey man, Bob Arum's not going to be out there, or Bob Arum is not even involved, but you can still say Eddie Hearn isn't going to be out there trying to put that fight together unless they can make real money. So, is Shakur Stevenson, with the deal he's got over there with Turki Al-Sheikh, going to actually bring more butts to the seats? I don't know about that. But if he partners with Turki Al-Sheikh, they may be able to work out a situation where they both bring a significant amount of money to the table and the fight can be made. And I think it's like, honestly, for me, it's no time like the present for that fight to get made, because you just never know what's going to happen. You have, my understanding is that you have a situation where Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are finally in legitimate talks to fight with each other. But, it came after both of them having suffered multiple knockout losses. I think, how many times did AJ lose? I think AJ lost 4 times, and Deontay Wilder lost 4 times. Both of them, I do believe, were Deontay Wilder was knocked out 3 times, and AJ's been knocked out 2 times. So, definitely got around to that fight too late. You don't want that to happen to Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson. And honestly, man, in the conversations that I'm having on my channel, that's one of the fights that people like to talk about the most. One side talking about what Shakur is saying and how Shakur talks about being Killer Kerr, but he don't act like Killer Kerr when it's time to get to the fight. And other people saying, hey man, it's Gervonta Davis's responsibility to send the contract and, all that good stuff. To me, it seems like a fight that is right to do good numbers. I think, especially if you get good numbers. Well, Gervonta Davis got good numbers from Frank Martin. That did a significant gate, and I think it did a $14 million gate in Vegas, and did good pay-per-views, like 350, 400,000 pay-per-views in that. If you can get 500,000 pay-per-views out of Tank with Lamont Roach, shoot, man, who knows what you can get with Shakur. I think those numbers are going to go up. I think they're going to go up significantly if those guys do that. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to hear that Gervonta is pushing to make the fight happen. I am not somebody that is putting like the onus on somebody to push for the fight. But hey, if you want it, ain't nothing wrong with doing it. Good, man, good deal. Hopefully we get it, and hopefully we get it soon. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.